Now, live from Artie's Cut Rate Liquor Store, shooting range, candle shop, bowling alley, massage parlor, it's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Hello.
Happy night.
Happy night.
Getting things right.
It's been a minute.
Bringing it back tonight.
It has been a minute.
A few minutes. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. It's the tip this time of year, right? Typical of the spring break. You take a little trip, and then
You got sick?
I got sick the week before, so we weren't able to get a show going there. So
And then we're both nutso busy.
yeah, then we've been pretty busy.
But here we are.
But yeah,
With
here
the
we are.
Dave and Doc Podcast.
It is
Episode 73.
episode 70.
He is Dave.
I am.
I am Doc.
Yes.
And we're excited for episode 73. All things can be found at our website, DaveandDoc.com. That's Dave, A-N-D, Doc.com. How many subscribers are we up to, Dave?
Almost 37,000.
37,000. Thank you all very much.
So appreciate that. Appreciate
Been all over the world. La, 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 la.
all over the world.
Ain't no play you hate.
All around the world. What was it? Who did that song? ATC.
Yeah,
ATC.
I believe that's correct, yes. Good.
All around the world.
Look at you.
Look at me. Coming up, it's the 5 for 5 after 2 for Tuesday.
Oh, my gosh.
Little ATC coming at you.
Look at you.
We'll go Def Leppard Pyromania album.
Wow.
Cut 3 Stage Fright.
Wow.
Def Leppard. On the station where rock and roll lives, WRIC.
The Rick.
The Rick. We changed it to the Rocket later. We were the Rocket. You know,
You just went right back into character, didn't you?
You did.
Oh, you're fuzzy. You better put the hand up.
is it? Yeah, I got to do the hand.
Yep.
We've had camera issues. You know what's funny is like I use this camera all the time for my OnlyFans account. No, I use this camera all the time.
That's
for
why
like,
you like the
for like work.
I didn't do it.
And it does.
Oh no, I did. Yeah, it kind of did.
But it's but like this. It's funny because like this camera never does that for work stuff. It's only for this. So
Well, you know, you're probably making money off the OnlyFans site.
I am.
Little splash and dash.
little
Little Bart Stillwell.
Bart still.
Little Peppy Bennett.
Peppy Bennett.
Well, man,
Doing it again.
It's March Madness. I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about March Madness, but it is March Madness, one of my favorite
is.
times of year. College
too.
basketball.
Me too.
You know, sitting here plugged in, trying to watch what's happening with this Duke game. We watched most of it, and but we got to get this going. Duke's up 53-44. That's good.
There you go.
Keep
Little
it rolling.
9-point lead.
Keep it
They're in good
rolling.
shape.
Keep it rolling. They just can't quite pull away. My Vols looking impressive in the first round. SEC not looking so impressive. They're 1-5 right now, but I think A&M got a victory, so that probably put them 2-5. Hopefully Alabama will win. But Tennessee represent against St. Pete. Good job, Vols.
We'll show
Strong.
everybody my bracket a little later in the show, so we can all laugh at that.
Go Yale.
Oh, God.
How about that? But we got some dad jokes for March Madness, and I thought that would be appropriate.
All right.
So what drops during March Madness but never gets hurt?
What?
Rain.
Yeah.
Why was the sports fan acting so crazy?
Meth.
He had March Madness.
Well, of course he did.
Why are basketball players so excited to make it to the last hole in golf?
Why?
Because they love the Final Four.
That's awful. That's terrible.
My favorite one.
Oh.
Why do college basketball players where do they always get their coffee? I've done that one before. Where do college basketball players always get their
He's
coffee?
there. Where's that?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, of course. Of course.
What's the difference between an Auburn basketball player and time?
What's that?
Time passes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Go Yale.
right.
Hurts, Bruce. I know it hurts. Go Grizzlies. Oakland.
Yeah.
Dude made 10 3-pointers.
I know.
10 3-pointers, 10 of 20.
Yeah. I know.
That's nuts.
It is nuts.
He went off. Kentucky was not ready. Anyway,
They weren't.
So what else is new, man? We got some things.
Yeah,
You got some fun things.
Real quick, just there was a lot that happened over just the last few weeks, and just real quick, we lost Richard Lewis,
we did.
who extremely funny guy, and I don't think he ever got the due that he was deserved for how funny he was. He wrote a lot of stuff. He was kind of a behind the scenes guy, a little bit in front of the camera too, of course. Was on a couple of TV shows every once in a while and that sort of thing. And but Richard Lewis passed away. Chris Mortensen also passed away.
Yes.
You guys all know, if you follow the podcast, if you've listened to even one episode, you know how I feel about ESPN. But Chris Mortensen was definitely a bright spot on ESPN.
Yeah, how do you not love Mort? I
mean, and
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Chris Berman used to call him Mortimer, and I loved it. Like, he was like, Mortimer!
And he loved it. And
he did.
I mean, he was great.
And like, just seemed like a really class act. He passed away as well. And then Eric Carmen also passed away. So...
A few folks.
Yeah, a few folks. And, Eric Carmen.
Some sick folks out there, too.
Eric Carmen, who originally was with the Raspberries, I do believe.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, that was his original band, was the Raspberries.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And then did a lot of stuff. He did All By Myself, which didn't even get popular until Celine Dion did it. And then, of course, he thought it was, he even made jokes about it. He's like, yeah, she did it. It became a #1 song. So he got a ton of money because he wrote that song.
Right.
And then, of course, he did some of the music in Dirty Dancing too, right? Anyway, Eric Carmen, somebody I used to listen to quite a bit.
Rest in peace.
And I'll probably still listen.
Rest in peace, right.
Let's see, where to start. So I had a little procedure done. I guess we could start there. I guess you want to start there.
You had a twofer.
I did.
You had a twofer.
Yeah.
Apparently the Versed does magical things. Ooh. Oh, ride the magic bus. Man, you had your EGD.
Yeah,
and your colonoscopy.
And just so for you folks that like it in layman's terms, I got it up the ass and down the throat. Okay. Just like I do on OnlyFans.
On camera
at OnlyFans/Dave. So I had both of those done, and the EGD primarily, there's two reasons. One is because I do have Barrett's esophagus, and two was also to stretch that out a little bit because it does become a little difficult to swallow.
You get the stricture.
And then the colonoscopy, which I've had many flare-ups of diverticulitis, and so it was probably way past time. And thank you for pushing that.
Got it. We know they changed the guidelines. It is 45 now for everybody. Just for those of you who may be of age for that, we used to say 50 unless there was family history of colon cancer, and then you would back the time frame up. But now it is 45 years old to begin colon cancer screening
and I'm only 29. So, but I decided
the hypertrophied anal papillae that kind of prompted the need for the colonoscopy. I'm just kidding.
No polyps though, right? I had no polyps.
No, there were no polyps. Actually, we've got your results.
Yeah. So Doc has my results.
Yes.
Which
yes, no hypertrophied anal papillae. So that was good. No polyps, which is the most important thing. You do have some diverticuli. That's those little cubby hole things with the diverticulitis. So you have diverticulosis.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which we knew.
Small mouth and medium mouth, so kind of like a fish, small mouth, medium mouth.
That's right.
You did have those in the lower colon and your sigmoid. Sigmoid's the last part that leads out to the anus,
which makes total sense.
Descending is located on the left side, actually going downward, leading to the sigmoid, which is where you've had your pain and your problems before.
Yep.
You did have a couple of little ulcerations in the ascending colon, which is on the right side coming up.
Yeah.
Those were biopsied, and I believe those were okay. They didn't look like they were bleeding or anything like that. Don't really know exactly what triggered those, but as long as your biopsies are fine, nothing to worry about. And he told you colonoscopy in 10 years, which is great. But he did have a couple of internal hemorrhoids, which is normal. Most people do.
Yeah.
So that's nothing really to worry about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got roids.
That's right.
I got internal roids.
Right. We've got some nice pictures here of it, so that's good.
yeah.
Good picture of your rectum, seeing the starfish, all the things. So it's good, it's nice, healthy looking. So it's good. A whole nother line of thought.
Can I tell you something funny?
Yes.
I want to tell you about the whole experience.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes. Oh gosh. Yes.
So again, like you had to drink all the crap, right, and all that stuff, and so I did that. And
got to clean yourself out.
And it wasn't that bad. But like how I did it was you're supposed to drink like 8 ounces every 15 minutes. I chugged that shit in like 25 minutes. Dude.
Look at you.
I'm like, get it done. And let me tell you, man, folks, let me tell you. It's like, I wonder how fast this is going to work. And the minute you say that out loud, it working. You basically...
You had a rim rocker.
For my good buddy Don... who comes up with all kinds of sayings that I like to repeat. So because I don't want to take credit for this. He says you're basically pissing out of your asshole. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's a Don. I can't take credit for that.
Not far from the truth.
It is. I mean, it's just liquid.
It's
and so
it's pretty mushy. So I mean, and you're evacuating a large amount.
Yeah, I lost a total from that weekend. I lost around 9 pounds.
Yes,
total.
Yes, because at any given time, about 10 to 15 pounds of stool actually lives inside your colon. Isn't that amazing?
The morning of, I weighed myself right before I took a shower before we left to go to do the procedure, and I was down 12 total.
Wow,
12 total. So it's the Hollywood diet.
Get your colonic and suck back
better
out.
Than Ozempic. Shit Zempic is what I did. I did a lot of shit Zempic. So we get there, and again, I had some issues with the other folks that we used, those professional associates that do gastro and
intestinal procedures. Yes.
These guys were great though. These guys, 100%. It was top notch. Everything was great. I didn't pass out with the IV.
That's really.
I mean, can you believe that? I didn't pass out. The guy who asked me all the questions, do you do this? Do you that? Does your family have a history of this? I did ask him. I said, have you had anybody ever answer yes to like 20% of these? Because that fucker's dead. I mean, it was bad. It's like, has anybody in your family ever had ass cancer? Has anybody in your family had eye cancer? Has anybody in your family's ears fallen off? I don't know, he didn't say that. But whatever. So it was a lot of stuff. So
they did ask you about the ass cancer.
They did ask about ass cancer.
That actually is
important. And that
actually is important.
That was I felt like that was relevant.
Yes.
Relevant for the rectum.
Yes.
Rectivant. And so they take me back to
rectum.
Take me
both.
Back to the OR. And they're listening to Billy Idol.
The endoscopy suite.
Yes, it was, yes. And so they were listening to Billy Idol, Rebel Yell.
Wisdom for your life.
And I said, hey, I talked to the nurse. I cannot say the word. She's not an anesthesiologist. She's a
nurse anesthetist. So it is a CRNA, a certified registered nurse anesthetist.
She's my favorite person in the world.
What was her name?
I don't know.
What did she look like?
She was a female.
Okay,
with scrubs.
Yeah.
Long hair.
Okay. Was it blonde?
Yeah, kind of blonde.
Was she younger?
She was not. She was probably younger than me.
What does that mean?
That means 28. No, she was probably. I would guess that she was probably around 35.
Okay,
would be my guess.
Just curious. Just curious.
She was really good, and like, so she was like, "Hey, I'm giving you this right now. It's going to numb the vessel and all this." And I'm like, "Hey, you do whatever you need to do."
Yeah.
And the last thing I said to them, I said, "Hey guys, I know you're playing Billy Idol, but I am a Def Leppard fan, so the Pyromania album, I would recommend it." Not a lot of sense of humor in that room,
It's
just, I mean,
there is. They just wanted you to be asleep first,
I guess,
because I mean, you're playing with booty hole.
Yeah,
it's poop and booty hole.
They made me roll over to my side.
And oh yes,
and then I had to put that thing in my mouth, and I'm like, shit, it's like bondage here. Like I'm gonna get chained up.
Yes, yes.
They're like, put this in your.
Yes. Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
well, with this
Shit.
with this oxygen mask on, laying on my side.
They didn't say squeal like a pig.
I was like, neck up, ass up. I'm like, this is the worst porn I've ever seen in my life.
I would have at least groomed myself if I'd known this was coming.
I will say this: the doctor did find it funny because he was telling me about the procedure and everything, and he says, and then we'll use the second tube. I'm like, hey, thank you for saying second tube. And he goes, completely different tube, man. Like, we're not using the. I said, if you're going to use one, you start here.
That's right.
Go down.
That's what I was telling him. Just make
detach.
sure that they start up top and go down if they're only using one.
And
It's all
then
good.
I was talking to somebody at work, and they were like, yeah, they probably just use one. I'm like, you know what? As long as they don't tell me, I don't know. I don't care.
No, they used to.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure. And again, they were great. They could not have been nicer
They
to me.
definitely do that. And it went well.
And it went well.
They got your stricture fixed.
I do have to go back in 6 weeks.
Yeah. Because they couldn't quite go past all the way after they dilated to make sure the Barrett's wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
They were like, he was like, I didn't want to irritate that area any more than I had to and all this. So, but yeah, if you haven't had a colonoscopy done, I'm not going to lie to you and be one of those people that says, it's a piece of cake. It sucks. Right? Like,
Now, did it suck or did the prep suck?
let me think about that.
Because, I mean, you're up kind of early. There's lots of things happening.
The prep was terrible.
The prep is the part most people think they sleep really, really well.
I did sleep really well.
And it feels, and that part feels good. And then after the fact, you're a little bit gassy.
Yeah, that didn't happen to me until like way later though.
That's okay. 'Cause it was in there. It just had to start moving out.
Yeah, like it was like middle of the night, and all of a sudden it's like, ho, 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 easy. Yeah, it's essentially it.
You're just hotboxing Lindsay to death, aren't you?
I was hotboxing the whole house. It was bad.
The greenhouse gas effect.
But I got it done, and it was. I mean, they were really great. The procedure was
They
great.
took care of you. That's what we want. Good.
And so much better experience than I had. And he even asked. He said, "Hey, when's the last time you had this done?" And I told him, and he says, "By who?" And I told him, and I said, "The interest." He's like, and you're already having problems swallowing. And I was like, well, he told me that he could have stretched it more. And he said, did he tell you why he didn't? I said, oh, that's the $1 million question, Doc. I don't know. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to stretch you as far as I can. And I'm like, thank you. Appreciate that.
And he did.
And then he said that, but you still have to come back in 6 weeks. But that's okay. No prep for that or anything. Just go in and get it done.
Right. Right.
But
and that's probably erring more on the side of caution just so they don't irritate you more. So, I mean, that's actually not a bad thing.
Yeah. So so that was the thing.
Those were your scopes.
Those were my scopes. Got them done, and there wasn't anything that the doctor said that I remember anyway, or that you read, I guess, that really surprised me, like the diverticulitis. I mean, I knew those were there because I've had that problem before. I knew I had Barrett's, so I knew there was some tightening of the esophagus. And it's fun to be able to eat stuff now and not worry about getting stuck.
That's correct.
That's great.
That's the best news. It's the best news.
He did say, but I don't remember this exactly, but I want to say he said that I was going to have to start doing acid reflux twice a day.
They do like to do that if they feel there's a little inflammation there.
Yeah.
Just to kind of tone all that down. And yes, that is what he recommended for the next 3 months is that you do Prilosec twice a day.
Okay. Is that what I'm taking now?
Omeprazole, yeah.
Okay.
I think you're on that. I don't know that it's on twice a day.
It's not. It's once a day.
So they typically will send you in a new script.
Okay.
But he probably didn't do that, which is fine. Because we can do that.
Okay.
Sometimes they balk at it if it comes from us because we're not actually the ones that scoped you. So sometimes the insurance goes, but we can try to do that. So
okay.
I can do that.
Well, I think
usually, like I said, usually they will give you a script for that.
I think I just got a refill on that one anyway, so I can start doing 2 a day, like one in the morning, one at night.
That's fine. That's fine. Actually, probably if you called them, they would probably just go ahead and write it. Like I said, sometimes the BID or twice a day dosing, they need they need the official word from the gastroenterologist on that, just so they'll help pay for some of that. So anyway, but we'll make sure we do that for the next couple months, few months.
Yeah. So all in all,
pretty good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. No, it was a good experience.
Prep sucks.
The prep sucks. Pissing right out of your asshole. And like you leave the bathroom and you go sit down, you're like, oh God, not again. You go back and like there is nothing left in me.
Were there any moments where you were saying anything in particular? Anything in particular? Like any catchphrase stuff or anything that was going on?
Yeah.
There were a couple moments when it was...
I think it was probably morning of, because I had to drink another bottle of that stuff,
yes,
right? Like morning of, and I thought there can't be anything left in me. And about right before I went to go get in the shower, I turned the water on.
You knew something.
And like all of a sudden, like I put like one foot in the shower, and then all of a sudden, and boom, it was boom. It was right. It was right there.
Cut out the jibber jabber,
Mr. T. But yeah.
Mr. T does his colonoscopy.
So I want to
segue.
Yeah, no, this is this the tab that I'm
cut out the jibber jabber?
Is this the one I'm sharing? Yeah, I'm sharing this one. Okay, so this is from the Washington Post, but I actually watched this video, and I'm going to show you the video here.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's a Florida law enforcement officer had an inmate. Not an inmate. Sorry, that's the wrong thing to say. He apprehended someone.
Okay.
And put them in the back of his cruiser.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So let's just do this. Let me just show you this. Okay. And make sure you can see that. Okay. I'm assuming you can.
It's a little small.
It's a little small, but
I can see it.
When the video plays, you'll be able to see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah. So actually, you know what we can do? Can we do this? No?
That's okay. That's okay. I got it. I can see it.
I don't know how to work the equipment.
It's okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh, it's like Young Guns music. Here we go.
Yeah. And so he's shooting the back of his vehicle. And he says he's hit. Right? So super scary.
What? In the car. I was shot through the car. Oh.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So he just peppered his vehicle
with someone a suspect apprehended sitting in the back handcuffed.
Did he hit him, or is that bulletproof glass?
No, it's not bulletproof glass, but somehow he did not hit him. This is the camera from the other officer that was there.
What? Where? Right there?
And of course, she didn't hear anything, right? And he's shooting, and then she pulls her gun.
Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Get back! Where is he?
This is unbelievable.
Where is he?
Now, again, if you read
Give me traffic. Shots fired. Shots fired.
instead of burying the lead here, if you read the top of the page there,
wow,
it was an acorn.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was an acorn that dropped from the tree, hit his car.
Oh my gosh.
He never got shot, but he said he did. He said he was hit. He was a young police officer.
Wow. That's really bad, Dave.
It's terrible.
And I can't believe somehow he didn't hit the guy in the car.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then his partner has no clue what's happening. She just starts shooting.
Yeah, so they're both just firing away at nothing because nothing happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he's just blowing the back of his car up for some reason, thinking, I guess that's where the shot came from.
And it was an acorn.
But it was an acorn that hit the car, and he never got shot. Like his legs went numb. He said. Now he was a young police officer, and
Well, he's aged 10 years after that craziness.
So
Oh
while
my
while the
gosh.
investigation was going on, he resigned.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. He resigned, and
Wow.
there's like a 44-page investigative report that's out there too.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I first watched that video, I'm like, oh my God, like who's in the back of that? Did he? And then I read the top of that and said, oh, it was an Acorn. But like that just like I've
That's
never,
a heightened sense of paranoia.
Yeah. I mean,
and then the somatization. I mean, he thought that he had actually been shot because he really was just so frightened by what had happened.
yeah.
I mean, for his longevity's sake, yeah. I mean, he's good to pick a different career. I mean, not because of necessarily some of that decision making, but I mean, if you're not gonna. That's not healthy for you to have that level of fear. And
No.
I mean, and I mean, it's not really all happy times to be a cop.
No.
You know what I mean? A
not
lot
at
of
all.
pressure, a lot of scary stuff. You just never know. So I mean, that level of heightened awareness obviously working against him. I mean, he thought physically something had happened to him. I mean, fortunately, he didn't shoot that person. Obviously, that person had done something not so good because they had him in the car.
He certainly shot at him.
But I mean, dang, that could have been really bad, taking the life of somebody that was not necessarily that didn't need to happen.
It said the sound can be seen and heard in Hernandez's body cam, police said, with recorded footage at 33 frames a second. The department analyzed the video frame by frame to determine when the Acorn fell and when Hernandez thought he was under fire. Investigators found that 1.1 seconds passed between the Acorn hitting the roof of the patrol vehicle until Hernandez was first heard yelling, "Shots fired." Whew. But you're 100% right. Like, wrong line of work.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, like I
just-
said, I mean, you're gonna really have some serious health problems because that's just not that's not the line for you.
No.
That is not the career for you.
Oh, shit.
Time to go somewhere else. Time to do something else. Right. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's just not good.
Well, and imagine being the guy in the back of the cruiser.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You're like, holy shit, dude.
what are you doing? What's happening?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, luckily nobody got hurt, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So-
but he's got to get out of that. I mean, I hate that for him. I mean, if he was really wanting to be,
Yeah, no,
that's not your bag, man. You need to do something much safer for your body, and
Yeah.
your mind in particular, because you're going to drive yourself crazy, and that leads to really bad decisions. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know if you'd seen that story.
No, I
or
had not
but,
seen that. That's scary.
That was, we were going to talk about that last week a few weeks
couldn't
ago,
make it.
before I got the shits.
Before your colonoscopy.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the weekend before, like, I basically evacuated myself then too.
Only to fill back up again.
Only to fill up and then let it out again. And again, so this isn't overly timely, but I did want to talk about it because I got an opinion on it.
Okay.
Interested to hear what you
What I think.
about this too. And this is
What I think.
LSU and South Carolina.
Oh, yes.
We've already talked about, you and I have talked about South Carolina.
Oh,
You're
yes.
not a South Carolina fan.
Not a South Carolina fan, no.
And I don't really like either flipping team. Like, I don't watch women's college basketball. I just don't.
I'm not saying I'm an LSU fan. I'm a UT Lady Vols fan, so I'm not pulling.
And I'll be honest
Lady
with you.
Tigers. Go Lady Tigers is not what you're hearing.
If I was watching women's basketball, I'd probably the Lady Vols are who I'd probably watch. Maybe UConn, right?
yes,
Good coach up there.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark at Iowa,
And
pretty
Caitlin Clark
awesome.
and
Pretty awesome. But yeah, South Carolina, don't like them. Don't like Dawn Staley. Didn't like her when she played at Virginia. Don't like her now. She said the right things after that whole thing.
She did.
Where the 6'7" center for South Carolina got all mad and pushed down whoever it was, and all the things, and it was the dust up, and she said, that's not who we are, that's not how we're supposed to be. And Kim Mulkey was like, well, that wasn't good, but the ref shouldn't have been let it get so physical. And then she said, but what I really wish would happen was that she'd pushed Angel Reese instead of my smaller player. I mean, Angel Reese is probably not one to be trifled with, but I mean, you made a good point. I mean, that's not really good. Even if you're just trying to say the politically correct thing, but to basically be like, well, it was somebody else's fault, and then saying, hey, I wish that, I push the larger person on our team who is quite physical, who would not be afraid of you at 6'7" and probably whoop you because,
or perhaps, or just perhaps, you shut your effing mouth and don't start crap on the court.
Won't start no stuff, won't be no stuff.
I mean, really,
won't start no stuff, won't be no stuff.
I just, again, there was nothing wrong with the play. The foul was clean. You get it, like she was running down the court. I understand, foul her. But you don't have to push her when she walks by.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think...
And then the monster that ended up pushing, like she's Cardozo, who's like 6'7", I think. Yeah. Shoved her down.
Cardozo. Yeah, she's 6'7".
Yeah, and then Mulkey was like, don't push a kid. Don't push somebody that little. That was uncalled for, in my opinion. Let those girls that were jawing, let them go at it. I just kind of feel like this is kind of her MO as a coach. Like, I kind of feel like this is how she's always been. Like, she uses terms like, we're going to fight and punch and whatever. And I get...
Of course, so does Dan Campbell for the Lions. And we kind of like Dan Campbell for the Lions.
I mean... It's basketball, though. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but basketball can I think it is not football. It is physical and different. It's kind of like soccer. People are like, oh, soccer. I mean, soccer is a pretty physical game. I mean, it is. It's a
I'm not
different.
Familiar with that. What soccer?
All right, there are no other sports. I mean, basketball is pretty physical in a different way. So I mean, you
sure,
it's a different deal. I mean, I think it's just. I mean, she's always been.
I think she's always
been very outspoken. Very. I mean,
I kind of think she's a little bit of a shitwad.
No,
that's just what I think. I've listened to some of her press conferences and stuff, and I just don't like her personality. I just don't. And I mean,
she's
and her team.
She's pretty abrasive,
and her team is an extension of her personality. Clearly, like you see it. I mean, you see the way they play, the way they conduct themselves, the way they conduct themselves off the court. Things that interviews with some of the players.
I mean, building a culture.
I
would agree with that.
And it's just like, okay, that's great, and you won a national championship, and there was controversy there, and I mean,
the thing that I do like about her is, I mean, over all the years. Even when she was, I mean, she's been consistent. Like she's been
a shitwad for you. Consistency,
so bad. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, again, if you watch South Carolina back in 2022 and the attitude that team played with, and all the different things, and then last year when Iowa put them out, and just the crappy attitude. But we're going to say the right things. It's just one of those, you're being PC about something, but you're not really PC. And that's what I don't like about South Carolina. I think it's fake. I now Mulkey, for all the things, I mean, Coach Mulkey, she's never changed who she is. She hasn't. Good or bad. I'm not advocating either way for a fair amount of those behaviors, but I think there is something to be said about, okay, I'm being genuine about that no matter what. But it's the pattern of behavior of some of the badness, and it doesn't set a good example for the kids.
Yeah. And I mean, there's been scandals that have followed her too.
No, it's true.
Like all the way back to like 2003.
True.
So I mean, like, it's you name it. Like there's just been trouble just kind of follows some people. And it just seems like she's kind of like one of those people.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a certain level of confidence.
Let me ask you this. If the Lady Vols had a coaching vacancy, would you be okay with her being the coach for the Lady Vols? If you even have to think about it, there's your answer.
I mean, probably not. I mean, part of that I think is a rivalry thing. Part of that is I don't think that would. I don't know how well that would go here. You know, I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. That's just not kind of our natural culture. I mean, if you look, Pat Summitt, she get fired up, but she was not that way.
Right.
Holly Warlick, not that way. Kelly Harper, not that way. Rick Barnes, great coach, great Christian guy, not that way. I'm get fired up, but that's not what we're about. You know, Josh Heupel, not so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just not. I mean, and then Tony V he get fired up for some baseball, but I mean, it's still baseball.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's he can still hold it in check, and I mean, he's bought in. We don't have that sort of thing in terms of controversy. It's not so much the coaching stuff. Now, you know, we'll get in trouble for, you know, briefcase full of money, cocaine, and hookers. Oh, no, we didn't. That was just $66,000. None of that was offered. You know, we'll get in trouble for that. And we'll sue you, NCAA, because you're bullcrap, two-faced, whatever mess. And, of course, we win, basically. But yes, controversial coach like that, I don't think that would really... I mean, think about that when they tried to hire Schiano and all that mess went nuts. I mean, that was that went too far. I mean,
it did.
That was bad as a fan base for UT. But... You know, going back there and even throwing in the whole, you know, Penn State mess and all that stuff. I mean, so any level of controversy like that, it's just not something that Rocky Top has usually been about, you know?
Yeah.
So no, I don't think she would be a good fit here. Do I think she's a great coach? Yes, I do.
I think she is too.
You know, and you weren't saying she wasn't. No, but I do think that. But I think you've got to be in the right situation. And I think
I can tell you right now, if I had a kid,
LSU does not have a problem hiring some flash and dash and some flair and some fired up. But it kind of just fits in with Louisiana and some of that fiery Cajun, you know, type of stuff.
I mean, I just, if I had a daughter was playing college basketball and she was good enough to have a choice, that school would be way down.
I get that. I get what you're saying.
Because I wouldn't want my daughter to play.
I get that.
It's like, why don't we play basketball the way we're supposed to play basketball? Play it the right way. You know, I don't know. I just, the more press conferences I see with her, the more I just like, I'm like, good God, just stop interviewing her. Let somebody else I just don't want to. You know, I'm putting her in like the same class as like Tom Brady. It's like, I just don't want to hear you anymore. Like, just go away. Get off of my TV set. So this next thing. Segue. You sent this to me.
Speaking of cats.
Yeah, and when you sent that to me, I thought, what are we talking about? And it's, am I pronouncing it right? Mewing?
Mewing. I mean, a cat mews.
Yeah.
So, yes. So I mean...
And so it's this dumb shit that people do.
We just get
right. So it's this dumb shit that people do to like
not just anybody. Not just anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's so go ahead.
But it's like something that you can do to like strengthen your jawline or
allegedly
make oral better or something. I don't know what it's. I have no idea.
Apparently, there is some not necessarily proven strategies here for things with your jawline and whatnot to, I guess, help expand it, help strengthen your muscles. But it's really being used as basically like an FU to teachers now in the classroom.
Yeah.
To basically try to be distracting, to try to be like, hey, we don't respect you. We're not listening to you. The things that you're saying are not going to apply to us. And so it's basically a form of disobedience in terms of making this sound. And the thing that, I mean... I'm going to tell you right now, some of these people just need to get their ass beat. I mean, I'm sorry. This is stupid. You know, you go to school. The purpose of going to school is to learn, right?
Yeah.
The purpose of school is to figure out, okay, what else, what do we want to do in life? And then let's have a plan to go do it, and let's have some social time. You know, let's do some things to better our life. Mewing at a teacher who is trying to teach you, who's not doing anything other than trying to have order in their classroom and teach you something is ridiculous. And the fact that they can't do anything back to them is that's one of the more asinine things that I've ever seen. I mean, who would want to be a teacher with this environment? I mean,
I don't know who would want to be a teacher.
My teachers back in the day would have been like, that's it. I'm just going to go scorched earth and kick all your butts.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody's butt would have been out in the hall, you know, hands on the wall getting whacked with the paddle.
I've tried to find...
And you can't mewing at somebody while they're talking. What is wrong with this?
I've tried to find pictures because I'm trying to wrap my mind around like what that looks like for the other person. Because I don't understand it. Like, I don't get, like, if somebody was doing that to me right now, I don't know that I would know that's what they're doing.
Well,
like,
I guess
it's pronounced that you look at somebody and you can tell like they've got like a...
Well, they're making a noise. I think they actually make a noise. That's what I think.
Oh.
I think there's actually, you know, I think that there's actually sound coming out.
Is this some weird chiropractic thing that I've never heard of before? It's like, it's like that dude pushes in the same spot every effing time, man. I need to like Dr. Brett Binder. Dude like has this 40-minute conversation with people saying, oh yeah. And he watches these girls walk back and forth. And he's like, oh yeah, I see a little bit of lift in your
anus.
Hypertrophied
anal papillae.
And so then he lays them down and he beats the shit out of their back for a minute, then whistles and pushes them in the same spot every time. It's like, why'd you have that conversation?
Because we've got to fill the office visit with some time.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Anyway.
But yeah, I think there's actually noise being made to disrupt the teacher trying to teach.
So the teacher's talking to the student.
And they don't like what they're saying or they don't want to listen, and that's their
they're doing
their
that
level
shit?
of yes. That's what I'm saying. Is that not some of the stupidest stuff? It's bad enough we got a litter box in the bathroom, but now we're going to be mewing. I mean, I'm sorry. That's insane.
So the furries can take a shit.
That is. You know, that's not healthy. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
I'm not passing judgment on somebody. But
I am.
Number one, you should not be doing that. That is not a sanitary way to go to the bathroom.
I'm going to need you to put one in your doctor's office, by the way, when I come visit you next time. So
it's not, man. If we ever get, I swear. No.
Here's what I know about your office. You guys would buy the state-of-the-art fucking litter box with that 18-inch TV on the damn wall.
And the WAP in the wrong spot.
And the WAP in the wrong spot.
By the way, I actually know who put that in.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's actually it's someone who does work for Comcast.
Cut out the jibber jabber.
That's it, right? Those assholes one time gave me to a level 3 technician, right? To try to explain to me why I had latency in my line. And I said, I know why, because there's water in it. And they're like, well, no, that wouldn't cause latency. And I'm like, he even said to me, I don't know how experienced you are with networking. I'm like, buddy, I don't know what to say to you right now, but you a dumbass. And I know what I'm talking about. And like, he was like, our lines are triple insulated and like, there's no way water can get into them. And I'm like, buddy, I've seen shit before. I have went to copper cabling before from a satellite dish to the top floor of a radio station, right? So there's like a little bend in it, like a little loop. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, the signal's just weird. I took a knife to the very bottom of the middle of it, just made a little slit, and sat there and watched 9 gallons of water come out. All sealed.
Just saying.
All sealed. All sealed. Even rubber gasket and like liquid seal all over the other connectors, right?
Yes.
No way the water can get in there. It still gets in, you stupid asshole. Anyway,
I mean, this makes sense to me, right?
yeah. It's just, and it's like, dude, when I ping Google, it's like taking a minute to ping Google. And that's not how that works. There's latency. He's like, well, that doesn't necessarily mean latency. And I'm like, that's what you use the ping command for, is to test latency and connectivity. That's what it's for.
Did you say that to him?
Yes.
What did he say?
He had nothing to say to me. He's like, well, we could probably send somebody out. And I'm like, you know what? We just bought a new house. So, like, we're going to be moving soon. So just shove it up your ass, buddy. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Send somebody, don't send somebody.
We can send, but it might cost you.
It's like, here's all I know, right? I'm just a dummy, right? We'll get back to Mewing in a second, folks. Sorry. You said Comcast, and I got triggered.
The look on your face was awesome.
Here's all I know. And this is what I told him. I'm like, dude, here's all I know. Service was pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Latency was fine. The area had 6 days of really hard rain.
And now...
right? We watched the arc go by.
And now it's not working right.
And now it's not working, and I know why, because there's water in it.
Hey.
Well, that's impossible. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, let's look at the facts. The 4 fine.
Rained for 6 days.
You know, we got the deluge for 6 days, and now there's a latency issue. And it's copper cabling. Now, you tell me.
Oh, my chest hurts now. That's awesome. I did not know that story. You've never told me that story.
I've
tried to forget it.
I think I've tried to.
That probably, you definitely need
compartmentalized
your omeprazole twice a day dealing with that.
Yeah.
Good night. Yeah, but the WAP was the WAP.
Level 3 technician.
Yeah.
Level 3.
Oh, that shows you something. The WAP, yes, Comcast put it in.
Yeah. Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me at all. Well, it'll work better here. It'll beam right at you. Yep, that's great for everybody else in the office. Anybody behind that wall, which, you know, probably even if you go to the bathroom, which is right behind that wall, I think there's like the little bathroom there where you pee in the cup and you write your name on it. You sign your autograph on it. I bet you don't even get. I bet you don't have access there. I bet you like your connectivity there is probably terrible.
There you go.
I guarantee it is.
There you
because it's
never been in that bathroom. No.
I have more than once.
It's all right. Was it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they do clean it. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. You still don't like the TVs though.
No, I don't like the TVs.
Okay. Would it make you mew in the office in protest of the TVs?
I still don't understand the like.
If
I
you
want
dress
somebody
up in your ticker costume and come in there and mew, you might get your behind kicked. I'm just going to let you know that. Not by me, but there'll be somebody. They'll be like, this is not happening.
So like, I really want somebody to mew at me now because, like, I really want to know what it's like.
I can't. I
don't.
I'm not even tempted to try that. We're not doing that.
I don't know, but like,
maybe Landon will do that for you later.
As a teacher, that first of all, I don't even understand why people want to be teachers now, and thank God they do.
Right?
But I don't understand, like, it
makes no sense.
You have a bunch of entitled brats.
Makes no sense.
And parents who, let me tell you something, folks. All the folks here in the Knoxville area that are listening to the show. You only have one of my kids in your classroom. But if my child is doing that, you call me personally and let me know when it's happening, and I will come to the school, to your classroom right then, and I will take care of that shit. No problem. And while I'm there,
WGWTFA,
I will go full football coach on everybody there. I would say, listen, there is 2 ways to do things, and both of them are my way. Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm sorry. You are going to do this my way. I don't understand. Like,
it's a completely different
can you imagine
social scene. No, I would
dealing with these kids
no.
now. And listen, don't get me wrong, folks. There's some good kids.
And a lot of this mess starts at home.
It does. And I've coached some really good kids too, right?
No,
some very respectful.
Right. It does not mean
yes,
that everybody
sir, no,
is this
sir.
way. That's correct. It does not mean that everybody's that way.
But
there's enough of them to really cause problems.
Even one of Landon's friends, Lily, who listens to the podcast, she'll be excited.
Lily.
That she
Shout out.
She'll be excited that I mentioned her. One of the most polite kids ever, right? She's over here sometimes, and like Landon and her hang out and whatever. And she comes home with Lindsay picks her up too, so her mom comes by here and gets her or whatever. But like one of the most polite kids in the world, right? Super polite, gracious, like a joy to have over,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so a lot of kids are really good kids, and the best compliment you can ever get as a parent, other than, gee, Mr. Dave, you're handsome and don't look like you're old as you are. That's a good compliment. But the best compliment you can get is when someone says,
Hey, did you know the WAP should really go here?
the WAP should go here. Is your kid was at our house and they were, your kid couldn't have been better. Like
Good.
it was a joy. It's
Right.
the best compliment you can have. Even if they're a shitwad at home. If they're a shitwad at home, but you send them somewhere else and they act good with other people, that's all. You've done your job, right? You've done your job. You expect them to be a little shittier at home, right? Because you get away with a little bit more.
You have to love them.
You do, right? It's contractual.
You
It's
really
contractual.
do. You really do.
Even if they're mewing at you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to look up a video or something. Like I tried to prepare for the show and like have a video of somebody mewing, but I couldn't. Actually, it actually turned up some weird results, but it really did. I'm like, I gotta stop searching.
A couple of OnlyFans pages popped up. He said, "Hey, look."
Yeah, well, it's some of my coworkers on OnlyFans.
You saw one that said Chelsea, and you thought, "Oh, no,
No, different one. No,
there you go."
spelled it differently, like it was a EA instead of EY.
Gotcha.
EA, EY.
Yep. Like the soccer team.
Like the like the soccer team.
Yeah,
Maybe they have an OnlyFans page too.
I don't think I want to watch that.
Everybody else has one. Speaking of teachers, right? Like a lot of teachers have OnlyFans.
That's how they make their money.
Yeah, because they're not.
They ain't getting paid to teach school.
Yeah, so I mean, they got people mewing at them, and then they got to go do porn on the weekend to make money and put up with that during the week. And people are shocked when they quit and say, "Yeah, I can do 3 hours of OnlyFans and make 6 times as much as I was making as a teacher, and I don't have to deal with."
That's true.
Well, they have to deal with weirdos, I guess, but that's okay.
Yeah, but it's not like in person.
That's true, right?
You know what I
It's
mean?
just some old man. Show me your boobs. Let me see them. That'll be $300. Okay.
Oh, God.
Just so you know, that's how I'm going to sound when I'm an old man.
At Captain George's.
This one, our transitional material is terrible. This one came straight from Reddit, from a buddy of mine, Andy. Andy sent this to me. It's from Reddit. It's on the Walmart subreddit. So, r/Walmart for you folks, playing at home. If you're a Reddit, reader, and I am. So I thought I'd read this to you.
I like it. I'm ready.
The title is funny. It's a gentleman who's 26 years old and worked at Walmart and recently got fired. The title is "Got Fired for Shitting My Pants at Work."
What?
So
What?
yeah, so he says, I, 26-year-old male, have IBS, which the management team knows about. I've had close calls, but I haven't shit my pants until yesterday. I work in CAP 2, and I don't know what CAP 2 means. It's CAP number 2. I have no idea what that means.
Wow.
I work in CAP 2, and I was stocking some groceries, and I felt the urge, so I ran to the bathroom.
That must be like end cap too.
Maybe. I was about to enter the stall and just completely shit all in my pants. It was running down my leg and everything. I had to do the walk of shame to my car. Luckily, only a few drips of diarrhea made it to the floor. Most of it got in my socks. I called the store and told my manager I was leaving and wanted to let him know so I didn't get fired. I said I was still here and that I wasn't abandoning my job. It's just that I shit myself due to my IBS and I didn't want anyone to smell it or really know about it. He said, okay, thanks for letting me know, be sure to use PPTO if you have any. I told him I didn't have any PPTO left to use. He said, okay, and hung up. Today, they pulled me in the office and said that it was gross that I shit my pants and fired me. I literally have IBS and I didn't do it on purpose. Is this illegal? Can I sue? I have bills to pay now. I don't have a job. Can someone please help me? And again, that's on the Walmart subreddit. Gentleman with IBS shat himself.
Wow.
So I this hasn't happened to me as a manager, but it happened to someone that I know who was a manager. I'm not going to say the location or because there are people that listen to this show that'll know who I'm talking about. But a gentleman,
The names are anonymous.
I was talking with him one day, and he said, "Do you know so and so?" And I said, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "Did I tell you what happened last week?" I said, "No, what?" He's like, "He got up and kind of ran out, and he came back with a notebook, holding a notebook like on his ass when he came back, and he says, 'Hey man, I gotta go. I shit myself.'" And I said, "What did you say?" And he said, "I said, dude, go. You got it. No problem. Just go. Not a don't worry. Go. It's not a problem." And he said, and I watched him, waddle to his car with a notebook covering his ass.
Booty.
And so, like, when I read this story, I thought about that, and I'm like, yeah, we handled that completely different. Like, it was like, dude, it's fine. Just go home. It's okay. I don't care if you have time off or not. Come on. I mean,
I'm making these ugly faces.
I like that.
I'm just kind of messing with you.
Are you mewing at me? Is that what you're doing?
No, I can't. Yeah, I do have a overbite, so I can't, or underbite, so I can't.
I have an overbite.
Overbite.
Yeah, I got an overbite.
Anyway, that's a tough deal because that is a recognized medical condition.
Yeah.
Now it's not.
It's not covered for like with Americans with disabilities or anything, right? Like it's not at that level.
No, because it's kind of the Rome criteria is the technical criteria for diagnosing IBS, and there's it's kind of a diagnosis of exclusion. Basically you're ruling out things with food allergies or gluten allergy like celiac disease, some sort of infectious cause. Do you have inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, something like that?
Yeah,
and these things all check out okay. And you say, okay, it's irritable bowel, meaning yes, sometimes you get that crazy crampy urge, and if you don't go, you're going to poop on yourself. But yeah, it's not I don't think it's recognized by any disability. Now, sometimes employers will say, okay, if you have this problem, if it is going to cause you to miss work, we do it more into the chronic diarrhea type of thing.
Yeah.
And you just say, hey, this may happen and I may be out one day a month or one episode a month for 2 days or something like that if it flares.
Yeah.
And you just fill out your FMLA, your short-term stuff, just so your HR company knows, your HR department knows, okay, this is a real thing. This is a problem. Your physician has acknowledged this being a problem, and we will protect you, up to a certain point. Now, if you go beyond what's been allowable, then they're like, yeah, this is not what we see.
just thinking about it, like,
But if you crap yourself, that's kind of punishment enough.
I manage. I have I have direct and indirect reports, and I can't imagine anybody coming to me of all the people that I've ever managed. I've had people come to me and say, "Hey, I just threw up in the bathroom before.
Right.
Like, I think I want to go home." I'm like, "Go home." Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's I think if it was like a habitual thing,
Exactly. No, way different.
then I think you have to have a serious conversation like
every
that.
Tuesday at 4:00, I shit myself.
Say listen, because there are medicines to help with that. Does it always work? No, nothing's 100%. But you can take some things to try to help that from being
I just
a habitual.
I'm doing it right now. Right now.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like,
so I think
if every
but
Monday
like
morning you can't come in because you shit yourself,
it was a complete accident. That
yeah.
that's pretty harsh, man. I mean, but I mean, I don't think what they did is illegal. I mean, I think they can say, that's a sanitary problem. And you left work with no paid time off to take. So technically you left when you're supposed to be on the clock. It's like, I just crapped my pants. I mean, I know there's dookie in my socks.
But what's going to come from this, right? Like, so he'll find an attorney because they'll jump all over it.
Oh no, he'll win. Sue him. Yeah, he probably will.
And it won't go to court because the attorney for Walmart is going to say.
Now, has that changed? Because Walmart was the corporation. They would fight any lawsuit of any kind filed against them. That was one of their MOs. Now, I don't know if that has changed.
I don't know. I know that
with time and kind of some of the more woke stuff that has happened, but Walmart used to be one of those companies. It did not matter if somebody, was suing you for rotten hot garbage or toe jam in between the toes. They would fight any lawsuit at any store.
I got stabbed at Walmart, remember?
That's right. You were impaled.
I still have the scar.
You were impaled. But you didn't sue them. But
I didn't. I should have.
But you know what I'm saying. So yeah. I mean, if they still do that, then they'll fight that in court just so it doesn't set a precedent.
He's gonna win.
He might.
I don't even think it's a might. That's
a hard thing though, because I mean, if it's not, I don't know if it's not well documented.
Dude had a medical issue that happened to him, and you fired him.
Yeah,
I mean that's if I'm his attorney, I feel pretty good about my chances, particularly if they decide not to take it to court, because then they're just going to settle. Because most of the time, it's going to cost you more in court, unless it's some huge multi-million-dollar lawsuit, which I should have sued him for getting stabbed violently.
It was violent, yes,
very violently.
Violent.
I saw that scar the other day, and I'm like, there's the scar. There's my scar. I've been violated anally, orally.
Lots happened to you over the years.
Yes, yeah. Nobody cares about old Dave. I'm just, just
all by myself.
All by myself.
And I was all by myself.
And my punishment will be, I'll be on an airplane at some point in time and Kim Mulkey will sit beside me and
that'd be interesting.
Elbow me.
Interesting conversation.
I listen to your podcast.
She'll tell you the truth.
Yeah, she'll tell me the truth. It's the official's fault that she elbowed me on the plane.
That's right.
Whack. If we would have not had a brawl last night, I wouldn't have been mad. And why don't you just take some accountability, shitwad? Anyway, God's sakes. I mean, it's just for God's sakes. You're coaching a team. They got in a fight. You should be pissed off as a coach about it and embarrassed. I would be. I'm like, yeah, listen, we don't want that to happen. And even if you agree with it, right? Like somebody said something, it's like, yeah, you can't say that kind of shit. I mean, that's not what you say. I mean, it's just whatever. And it's certainly not the official's fault. I mean, that's just.
I think
that's the dumbest thing that you can possibly say. But yeah, so dude shit his pants
and got fired
for it. If you guys want to read that, it's on the Walmart subreddit on Reddit.
So. Dude, DUDE, shits SHITS, pants PANTS. .com. Now on with the program.
So again, we're already over an hour. We knew it would be.
Oh yeah.
We got other stuff here too. So I got Hannah Barron.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about Hannah Barron?
What was my other option?
Oh, so we have a couple. So we got Waste Connections here. In Knoxville.
Ooh, that's a hard.
And then we got Hannah Barron, and we got Tyson versus Jake Paul.
That's easy. I hope Mike Tyson beats his ass. It may not happen because Mike Tyson's old, but Mike Tyson looks very fit.
He'll be 58 when the fight happens.
If he can connect one time,
yeah.
I don't like Jake Paul. So I hope Mike Tyson knocks his ass out. That's all I care about. And that's all we got to talk about. I don't want to talk about anything else.
Yeah.
Jake Paul, he's all in it for the money. Doucherama.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, Doucherama, Mike Tyson, please, one time, just keep your chin down. Don't let him do anything dumb and make contact one time and knock that son of a bitch out. That's it. So we talked about that one.
Tyson's two biggest enemies, right? Were all the money he made and the letter S. I can't take credit for the letter S one. He was at a celebrity roast once, and who was it? I think it was. I can't remember the comedian. I cannot remember the comedian that said that.
Was it Rikishi?
No, it wasn't Rikishi. Oh,
In the Think Faith?
and Tyson laughed. He thought it was funny. We can talk Waste Connections, though.
Let's do Waste Connections, yeah.
Okay, so
let's do Waste Connections.
So, Waste Connections here in Knoxville. You have two options here in Knoxville.
Waste management?
Well, you have three options. One is to throw it in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Two, I'm kidding.
Or throw it in somebody else's bin.
I'm on the damn HOA. I'm just kidding, folks. Right.
El Jefe!
So you have Waste Connection and then Waste Management, right? This is the two, right?
Yes. They used to have a third one, but that guy just like quit.
Yeah.
That was just like
That happened one morning.
like,
They just shut the place down.
That's it. We're done. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're not doing any more routes. We're just done. And he was like, okay. So Waste Connections is who we have here in the Knoxville area. And we've been with them for
Several years now.
10, 11 years.
Yeah.
I guess.
We're in double digits, folks. We
yeah.
are in double digits. We've got time in. It's like a relationship.
And so the billing has always been quarterly, right?
Okay.
That's how that's worked, right?
Yes.
So like you would get a bill in,
yes.
in
It's like a
at the
90-day
end of
supply of
March.
medicine. You
Yeah.
pay quarterly.
So like at the end of March or beginning of April, you would get a bill and then,
Yes.
how that
And
works.
proceed on. Yes.
But this
However-
time we had a bill in February.
Okay.
It was due at the very end of February, like the 20 something, right?
Okay. With you.
For $61.
Okay. 61.
$61.
Okay.
I didn't pay it. And there's a good reason.
It's a shocker because, I know you're
I-
good
I'm-
on paying the bills.
I pay shit. I pay extra.
Right, and you'll even pay extra. I know. This is why it's very shocking.
So-
So what happened?
So, best I can tell,
It was
just
Lindsay's
old and I just missed it.
Okay.
Now,
$61.
$61.
You've been with this company for over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
All right, I'm with you.
Never missed.
Never missed a payment. Okay, got it. So we're not delinquent every other month.
No.
We're not delinquent every
No.
quarter. You owe them $1,000 for the 10 years of service.
No. Yeah. No.
Nothing along those lines.
No. So,
Okay, I'm with you.
So 61 $61. So we
Okay.
go into March.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And we're like the first week of
It is.
March.
It is March
Or maybe the second week of March.
Okay, second
Might have been
week.
the second pickup
because it was
of
probably
March.
due in March.
It was
1st of March, end of February, 1st of March.
something like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so we're in like the second week of
Yep.
March, or the second
Yep.
time they were going to
Yep.
pick up.
It's
in
getting
March.
stinky because we got hot garbage,
And they didn't pick our trash
and
up.
they didn't pick the trash up. And you said, "Oh,
So Lindsay calls and they're like, "Well, that's because you're past due." And she's like, "What?" Because she knows just like you do, that's impossible. That
Right.
Dave doesn't operate
that
that
is
way.
not what we do."
And they're like, "Well, no, we're showing a past due balance or whatever." And I wasn't around. She's like, "All right, screw it." And then we'll just okay, sure, I'll just pay it. Right, just pay it. Right, cards on the account.
Right.
just pay
Let
it.
me take care of this.
So they did, and they're like, whatever. So here's my problem with it, though, right? And again,
So it gets better.
did I miss the payment? Sure,
There's
I absolutely
layers.
did.
There's
right?
layers.
I absolutely missed the
I understand. Right. Right.
Absolutely
We're not
missed it.
denying that.
It's
And
my
we
fault.
took care of it as soon as we could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Lindsay's conversation with them, which was like 2 weeks later, when she paid it, and when the bill was due, that time in the middle is where I have the problem, because there's ways to get in touch with me. So I've heard. One of those is
That's Dave.
this is
A&D.doc.
a mobile. I was going to show you the front.
Oh, look.
I was going to show you the front, but I can't show you the front because there's actually work messages on there that I'm probably signed an NDA that I'm not allowed to do that. But anyway, so but I have this mobile phone.
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is. And it's
So-
a smartphone, too.
It is. So and here's what works on there: like text messages work, right? Phone calls, I can get those too, and then an electronic mail as well. The kids like to call it email.
Oh, is that what that is?
And I get that too.
That makes sense.
So guess what I got from Waste Connections in that little
Look, I'm calling you right now.
middle. There you are, right? There it is. You can hear us. You can actually hear it over the thing.
Yeah. How about that? That was
yeah.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
Gosh, this technology stuff's great.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay.
So none of that happened in that 2 week time period.
Okay.
Not an email, not a text.
You got
not a
nothing.
Smoke
It was
signal.
crickets.
They
It was
didn't knock on the
crickets.
door.
No Three's Company.
No Three's Company.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
And they just
Not good.
don't pick up trash one day.
Not good.
So it's like, yeah, we're not going to call you, but just one day when you notice that we're not picking up the trash, then you'll call.
Got it.
I have a big problem with that. Like, it's like, I understand that I owe you money. We have a deal. You pick up my shit
And I pay
you for it.
Yes.
But
to
you
haul away
changed the
garbage.
rules. You went from quarterly billing to something different.
To monthly.
And maybe it's every 2 months.
Or every 2 months.
I have no idea.
But it's something, right. It's something different without mentioning.
And you talk about a good customer. Here's the deal. I don't know how much it's went up, how much it's went down. I just pay it.
Right.
I just pay it.
Oh, it's gone up.
I'm sure it has.
Oh, yeah, man.
But it's like, I just pay it. It's like I don't,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I'm not nickel and diming them.
You utilize or you use the service.
Yeah.
You will pay for said service because you're using it, and that's the purpose.
Right.
And it's the time saving aspect of not having to run your trash to the dump. See, we don't get pickup service, so I take the trash. Laura takes the trash. Of course, I don't mind going to the dump, but we go to the dump because that's what you do.
So I'm to that point where I think that's what I'm going to do.
You're going to the dump?
I think I'm just going to stop. I'm going to kill the account.
Oh,
and just
wow.
and just once a week on a Saturday, just go to the dump.
Look at you.
It's not that far away.
No, it's not. It's true.
And if it is too far away, there's dumpsters at your office. I'm just kidding, folks. That's probably illegal.
It is, but people have done that. Christmas. It's very interesting at Christmas what shows up in that dumpster. Now, what people don't know is if we really wanted to be jerks about it. So we have cameras.
Yeah.
So those of you, I'm sure you're listening to the podcast that go and dump your trash in there. We actually do know who you are.
Well,
It's just to this point we have not decided to necessarily do anything because it's not habitual offenders.
Can I ask you a question?
Either
though?
or they're driving different cars.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Did Comcast install those cameras?
No.
Because then I'm gonna drive in there naked with a sign that says my name on it.
No, just the WAP.
No, just the way.
They did not put those cameras.
Okay.
No.
So the cameras actually work.
The cameras do work, and they work very well. Yes.
But yeah. So anyway, so we get no notification whatsoever,
And then they just don't pick your garbage up.
don't pick your garbage
like,
up.
Why
No note. I mean, they could have left a note on
Right.
the trash can, right? That
Right.
said, "Hey, you're past due.
your bill
or
is
whatever,"
delinquent,
right?
Yeah, but instead we're passive aggressive.
I'm not infallible. Like I might forget to pay things.
I don't understand why you didn't get email. I mean,
Yeah,
that's you. Most things like, hey, this is going to be delinquent if you don't pay it, or they'll mail you something. I mean, even snail mail.
Yeah.
Something will come and say, hey, this is past due.
They even recommended to us that we set it up on auto pay so that never happens again. Now, the problem I have with auto pay in something like this is as the price goes up, I'm never even going to see it at all.
Right.
At least I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
Some things are on auto pay, like my Sirius XM subscription for my truck.
Yeah.
It's $11 a month. It's auto pay.
Gotcha.
I don't need to know. It's $11 a month.
Sure.
Right? It's $100 something a year. Those are things I don't need to know, right? But like,
Sure.
I'm not going to set my mortgage up on auto pay. Like I get it. Some things I'm just not going to do that. Even though it would be easier for me,
Right.
I also pay all my mom's bills for her, right? So I pay a lot of bills. So there could be a time out there. And folks, if you're listening and I owe you $61 and you're out there, go ahead and go to our website, DaveDoc073 and email me, and I'll make sure that you get taken care of. Yeah, we got magnets. You'll see those at various and sundry places around the Knoxville area.
How about that?
Magnets.
But but the trash. I mean, come on now, just drop us a little line. Let us know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
especially after that. Yeah, that many years. But there's no loyalty, man. There's none of that. It's just you're just a number.
Yeah.
But if you're smart with your business, you're gonna give them some sort of reminder because then you're gonna keep getting the business. Going to keep getting paid. So if they just let you know, oh yes, I will pay that, and then they've still got that customer paying $61 a month or whatever.
And since when does a service just get stopped if you didn't pay the bill and it's been 2 weeks?
Yeah,
like when does that happen? Like I don't know because we pay our stuff, but like I can't imagine like if we forgot to pay Hallsdale Powell. that all of a sudden our water would just be turned off in 2 weeks? Like, it didn't sound right.
I think they do. I think it's something like a 60-day, 90-day type of thing.
You would think so.
Basically, I think it's if 2 bills go past due.
Yeah,
that's
that
when they'll
seems
usually
right.
be like, "Hey, it's time." But they will usually send you something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way that usually works. I think that's the biggest thing, to what you're talking about is there was like no warning at all. And there are easy ways to get a hold of you.
Yep.
Or just put a note on the can, say, hey, you hadn't paid your bill. Yeah, that's kind of bad. I mean, like I said, it's just not smart business because you're losing that guaranteed money because other than this one time, you always pay your bill.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's crazy. That's a bad business decision by them.
And I don't know how long this pays for. I don't know if this is for like 60 days, a quarter, or whatever. I guess I'm going to have to go look.
So now you have to do some research.
Because I kind of think I'm just going to kind of be done and just
take it to the dump.
Just take it to the dump. I mean, I got a little pickup truck. Got a little pickup truck, so I can do it. And my dad used to do it. I used to have fun going with him to the dump.
Yep,
I thought it was fun throwing stuff out of the back of the truck.
That's what. Yep, we had a station wagon. Yep, it was cool. It was cool. And then my dad had a truck after that. Had a little Toyota.
And my dad would always, if somebody had thrown something away that it looked like he could fix or work on or do something else with, like he was
popping tags.
Yeah, he was.
I'm gonna pop some
He
tags.
even built like this almost rod and reel type system to grab
go
stuff.
get it. Oh
yeah.
my god.
Oh yeah. Listen.
Oh my goodness.
And like it was just, I'm like, Dad, what are you gonna do with that? He's like, well, that's a microwave.
Somebody might need this.
I might be able to fix this, or I can take the copper out of it, and
I can build back better.
Yeah. Make America great again, one microwave at a time.
MAGA. Build back better. Wasn't that the slogan? Build back better.
Build back better.
By Biden.
More better, more faster.
More better, more. Damn.
Or as Biden would say, more bluffered.
I feel sleepy.
And then my favorite with Biden is when you ask him a question and he does this. He does this, goes. And you're like,
Come on, man.
It's like, did the picture fit? No, I see other people moving. And he's just going. And it's always the same. He goes, look, come on, man, look. I still remember him calling Trump a clown in their debates. He kept saying, this clown. And I'm like, dude, pot kettle. Let's go. Yeah. Democrats got a decision to make.
Everybody does. It's not good.
So
there ain't no way you slice it, dice it up. And
so here's what we can do. So we can do. We already talked Tyson and Jake Paul. We can talk Hannah Byron or Barron. Sorry, I don't know who Hannah Byron is. I don't know who that is.
Hannah Byron.
Hannah Barron, or we can look at my bracket.
Oh man, let's look at your bracket.
Thought that's what you would say.
Yes.
Thought that's what
Hannah Barron will be there for another day.
Yeah, and if you guys want to know, she's hot. Go check her out. I even made like a little thing here, right? So it's going to put us up in the corner.
Look at that, sucky now.
Isn't that nice?
Look at you.
Yeah. So this will be bigger on everyone else's screen, just so you know.
Yes.
You're looking at it at a different.
Yes,
way.
that's all right. That's okay.
So right now, as you can see, I've got the little fire.
89.2%.
Yeah,
that's good.
It is. Yeah, like so, I got the fire.
You got Purdue winning the whole thing.
I do.
What is the matter with you? No.
Wait, who did you want me to pick?
Not Purdue.
Purdue's good, man.
Oh man, they're gonna choke. Is it gonna happen?
They're going
going down.
They're going to choke like I used to before I got stretched.
They are going down. They are going down here.
And you can see my rank right here too, right? I'm ranked 2 million,
which is insane.
Yeah.
When you think about it, I mean, you've almost got 90%, and I know it's early, but you got 90% of your picks.
And again,
right.
Look at this. I had Northwestern,
and
right?
you're still. I mean, that's a solid pick right there, man.
And here I got screwed because I had UAB beating San Diego State, and then of course I had Auburn beating Yale, so I got hosed there completely.
Yeah, I had Auburn winning as well.
And this is the one I'm most proud of, though. I had Duquesne beating BYU and Illinois winning.
That's solid.
Yeah, so I felt pretty good about that. And then
I had Iowa State.
Yeah,
Washington
and I
State.
had that one.
I did pick that.
So we got
and that's gone. Yeah, Carolina, Michigan State. But you got Michigan State putting them out. Okay, so I've got them. I've got Carolina beating Michigan State. I'm gonna be interested in what happens in that St. Mary's Grand Canyon. I think St. Mary's is gonna win. I had Alabama, so I got Bama and Carolina getting together. But I've got Baylor coming out to be in the Final Four for.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I got Baylor for that. Yeah,
I had Colgate,
and I think that'll be interesting. I'm not saying that's necessarily right, but I think Baylor's gonna come out of that region and do some stuff.
And let's see what else I've got. I had A&M winning. I've got Houston winning, and they're winning right now.
Yeah,
but I actually have Texas A&M beating them.
I think that's decent. I
think A&M will just outscore them. I mean,
I think I could get. Now I've got in that round I've actually got Houston winning, and then I've got Duke and James Madison. I got Duke winning, and I got Duke actually beating Houston. So that's how I've got that broken.
So that's funny. I have JMU beating Wisconsin too, which is an upset. But I
think James Madison looked really good in the tournament. I mean, of course they have upgraded to Division I in sports. I think they're going to do it. I mean, and of course it's early, but I think they'll beat Wisconsin, and I think Duke gets them. And then I do think it's going to be.
And you can see how this fell apart for me here, where I had in the Sweet 16 Kentucky over Florida.
Yeah, see,
so that's all done now because I can't believe Florida lost to Colorado.
So NC State is my kind of my upset team. So I actually had them beating Kentucky in the next round.
Okay.
To get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
And then I had Marquette versus Florida, with Marquette still winning. And then it ended up being, Marquette and Duke actually having to play each other in that was that the South? No, yeah, in the South region, Marquette and Duke playing, and Duke actually winning. I'm not saying that's what, but I always, I love Duke, so that's what it did. In that Midwest region, I actually have us, Tennessee. I mean, I know we lost to Kentucky last game of the year with nothing to play for, and then we got put out early, but I actually have us advancing. So I had us playing Texas, us beating Texas. I did have Creighton winning. I had Oregon over South Carolina because I don't like South Carolina, period. And then I've actually got Creighton beating Oregon, Tennessee playing Creighton, and we beat Creighton. Kansas and Gonzaga, I had that. Purdue and I think TCU and Jamie Dixon get the job done.
I had
Purdue advances. Gonzaga's going to beat Kansas.
I have that too, and then I had
Purdue.
I had Tennessee and Creighton playing as well, but I have Creighton.
You got
over.
Creighton winning.
Yeah.
So I've got them beating, and Purdue and Tennessee meet in the Elite Eight, and we win. And again, I mean, that's going against all logic because that's just not something that we historically do, but that's what I got going.
And I had Illinois over Arizona in the Final Four and Purdue over Kentucky, and then Illinois and Purdue in the national, Illinois and Purdue.
I got Duke, Tennessee coming against each other. And then I had Baylor and UConn, and I've got UConn winning, and I had, I actually have Duke upsetting us, and then I have UConn winning the whole thing. Now, in my other bracket, I always do one bracket has Tennessee winning the whole thing because I always do that just for the hell of it, and then I always have one where Duke wins the whole thing. But I think UConn, barring some injury or something happening, I think they'll actually repeat, and this will be the first time since Florida did it back in 2007, 2008, whatever those years were. I think that'll be the first time, 2006, 2007 maybe. that'll actually happen, that you'll see that. I think UConn can do it. I mean, they are looking really, really good. I think it's going to really they're going to have to play a terrible game. Auburn, who had probably the matchup to beat them, got upset. So I don't see anybody else in that bracket that really, I mean, Iowa State maybe. I mean, maybe, but I don't think they've got the firepower to get it done.
All I know is old Dave is 89.3%.
I think that's great.
I'm on fire.
But what's crazy is your rank, even with that grade, which means somebody's doing better than that. I mean, that's insane.
Oh, I know.
I mean, that's if you took that to Vegas and were really betting, man. I mean, you're cleaning up on some dough. You know what I mean? But on this thing, I'm like, somebody's rigging this mess. Something ain't right.
But yeah,
something ain't right.
I really thought about it too, and of course, my heart wanted to pick Kentucky because I've always kind of been a Kentucky fan.
I'm sorry,
but just in college basketball, and I think it's I mean, I actually liked Rick Pitino.
Goodbye, Kentucky.
And my dad was always kind of a Kentucky fan, and they were known to shoot the three, and they were exciting to watch. And all this
we're
stuff.
not sad to see you go. Eddie Sutton was the coach when we were little kids.
But
remember Eddie Sutton?
I do remember Eddie Sutton.
Kenny Walker.
Yeah,
Kenny Walker.
They used to have a coach named Adolph, and they did. People just remember his last name, but hey, just so you know,
they did name an arena after him.
They sure did. They still play there, but yeah. So, but like I felt strong enough to put Kentucky in the Final Four, but I'm like, I think Purdue's just better.
How about that?
And I think Illinois is going to get to the championship game. I mean, we'll see.
That's a hard thing. I think, like I said, if UConn doesn't have bad showing, I think they make it. I do have Iowa State getting in there to the Elite Eight with UConn. So I've got UConn and Iowa State. I've got Baylor and Carolina. And I've got Tennessee playing Purdue. And then I've got Duke and Marquette. And those are my Elite Eight.
Yeah. I think Creighton and Tennessee's going to, if that happens, I think that's going to be a good matchup. I think that'll actually be a really good game.
Yeah, and I mean, Creighton didn't play great to start out, and then they kind of got it together. So, I mean, I do think that's going to be some good basketball. And I mean, we're going to be tested. I mean, UConn has a tough road to get back. I mean, they're the overall #1 seed, and I mean, their bracket is not awesome. I mean, it's an awesome bracket, but it is not an easy road for them to get there. So I mean, I do think I think they're gonna face some hardship getting through there, but I do think they will, as long as everybody stays healthy and they play their kind of ball.
Yeah,
and like I said, I think we'll see a repeat champion, and good for Dan Hurley. Kind of overshadowed for his whole life by his brother Bobby and all things, and now moving into the coaching realm, he's far surpassed what Bobby's been able to achieve. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
He should fight and scratch and punch and claw his way to.
I mean, that's kind of their mentality, though, man. I mean, they came up, School of Hard Knocks there with Bob Hurley Sr. And I mean, again, I mean, he dealt with some issues because Bobby was a superstar.
Yeah.
And I mean, it messed him up playing ball at Seton Hall. It really did. And now he's come back from that, and now he's an awesome coach.
I would not hate to see.
They say he does a lot of yelling.
I would
they're
imagine.
Fired up guys.
I wouldn't mind to see UConn winning it, but I kind of hope Purdue wins because
that's who you picked them.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, yeah. Of course, I've got Tennessee beating them.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
We'll see.
Because I'm going my Vols.
Of course, no, I get it.
To boldly go where no Vol has gone before. Plus, I really just want to go to the Final Four too. So, because if UT makes it, I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm totally going. Life's too short.
It's in Glendale, right?
Going. Yeah, that's a long way away.
Yeah,
don't care. We'll figure it out. I'm like, dang it, it's in Arizona.
It is. It's a long way.
Why could it not have been in like
Memphis?
Indianapolis? No, hell no. Indianapolis. I mean, could we not have gone to Indianapolis?
Yeah.
I mean, somewhere in Florida. I mean, Louisiana was great.
Charlotte?
I mean, that went down there. Yeah, Charlotte.
Yeah.
But Indy. But gosh, Arizona.
It's a dry heat. Don't worry. It's a dry heat.
Well, they said dry heave, and I was like, I hope not to. You don't want to dry hump either.
No.
That's just teasing. It's
I hope that didn't happen to me.
it's like you got dry humped.
I don't know.
Did you have corduroys on?
A lot of friction. Hey, folks, it's great to be back.
We made it.
Episode 73.
We're back in the habit
of the Dave and Doc podcast. All things Dave and Doc on our website at daveanddoc.com. That's Dave A&D Doc. DOC.com.
Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate it. Keep signing up. Thank you, Germany. Thank you, Canada. Thank you, the United States of America. Thank you, March Madness. It's my favorite.
Try not to shit your pants, folks.
Go, yes, and go Vols.
Try not to shit your pants.
Most importantly.
Go Boilermakers.
And if you do, don't get fired.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. It's
a bad
only
day.
a few drops hit the ground.
It's a bad day, yeah. The others were in my socks. Thank you.
Watch out for acorns. You guys have a good one. See ya. Bye.